Hey guys, welcome back to Phenomenal. My name is Cameron Phillips and this is the world's best travel blog giving you tips and facts from around the world. Phenomenal is now a website and an official travel blog. Make sure to go check it out. It's findyourphenomenal.com because the main mission of this travel blog is to help everyone on this planet find their phenomenal. With that, we're going to continue with one of our most popular series on this travel blog, and that is the subject of Italy. One of my favorite places in the entire world and a place I hope to make it back to very, very soon. If you're new to the Phenomenal channel, make sure to subscribe right now and turn notifications on so you can be notified when we upload new videos and publish new content on our blog. While you're there, head to the website and sign up for the email list to get exclusive content from me and an amazing thank you because it'll mean the world to me if you go and do that. Today we are talking about 10 things that will shock you about Italy. Everyone loves Italy, everyone loves the thought of Italy, everyone loves the concept of Italy, but a lot of people haven't actually been to Italy and a lot of people don't actually understand what they're getting themselves into if they go to Italy. So let's get into these tips and facts. These are things that might take the average North American or non-Italian off guard. Number 1, breakfast. The concept of breakfast is very different in Italy than we have here in North America. Obviously, like a little preface, this video is going to be kind of North American centric because that's where I'm from, that's where a lot of this audience is from. But take it with a grain of salt. Here we love big breakfasts. We love eggs, we love oatmeal, we love fruit, we love bacon, we love toast, all these things together to provide this like giant start to the day of this big hefty meal. The concept of brunch is a huge thing here. We like take our friends and go on the weekends and go and have 2 or 3 hour elaborate meals in the midday. Well, the long elaborate meals thing is very in line with Italy, but the actual concept of breakfast is a very, very different thing. Breakfast in Italy is a cappuccino or a shot of espresso and a pastry, normally just un cornetto, which is like a croissant. Coffee is also taken in a very different way, normally standing up at a bar instead of a Starbucks coffee shop, sit down, long pour styles. Coffee is meant to be just taken as a start to the day to get you going. It's not really used as much of a social element as it is in North America. That being said, a lot of big cities in Europe are kind of changing over. When I lived in Florence, there's a lot of restaurants popping up that serve American style brunch. A lot of Italians I talk to enjoy American style coffee. If you're Italian watching this, comment down below if you like American style coffee maybe better than espresso. But overall, the concept of breakfast is a short, small start to the day, rather than the big, hefty meal that Americans typically like to go for. This might shock you when you go to Italy at first. Number 2, Italy is a unified country, but honestly, barely. In reality, Italy is made up of 20 different regions, each having their own dialects, their own culture, their own food traditions, so many unique things that overall together make up Italy. But people from the very north that border Austria and France to the very south, the bottom of the boot, even Sicily, these are all completely different regions that are the cultures are almost unrecognizable to each other. The second fact that's going to shock you about Italy is that there's a huge difference between the north and the south. In culture, in style, in industry, in language even. Yes, everyone speaks Italian, but the dialect among the local in extreme North Italy is very different than what you're going to find in the south of Italy. In North Italy, they even speak German. They speak a lot of German. It's kind of like a Italian-German distinct dialect to that because regular German speakers would have a difficult time with it as well. There are huge differences, even the way the cities look, how the cities are built, the climate, the terrain. It's obviously mountainous. You're in the edge of the Alps / in the Alps up in northern Italy versus in the south. It's much more tropical, it's humid, you have the ocean, more rolling hills. It's unbelievable how different it is, and this might be totally shocking to you when you go to Italy for the first time. Number 3 is one that seems kind of silly, but honestly it could make a big impact on your life. There's not really peanut butter in Italy. There is. Like, you can find peanut butter in the stores, but it's nothing like it is in North America or in other parts of the world where you go and you have a whole shelf, half of an aisle dedicated to different types of peanut butter. Natural, smooth, crunchy, cheap, expensive. In Italy, my experience was that I found about 1, maybe 2 types if I went to a big grocery store, and people just don't eat it. Cliche as it sounds, people love Nutella. Nutella is the Italian morning, that's what you put on your bread, you don't put peanut butter on it. So that might be shocking to you. It's not a global standard to have peanut butter everywhere. Number 4, another food thing. This might be really shocking. I made another video about this actually, so go check it out. There'll be a link to that down below. There is no spaghetti and meatballs in Italy. Well, there is spaghetti and there is meatballs. They don't exist together unless you're at like an American Italian place. In traditional Italian cuisine, big balls of meat are not put on top of pasta. There's meatballs, but they're in their own sauce. It's a very different concept. So to find the classic spaghetti and meatballs, you're not gonna find it in Italy, in authentic Italian cuisine. That is probably that might be the most shocking to a lot of you guys. Number 5, the Italian concept of time is very different than other parts of the world, as are everyone's different concept of time. But in this sense, people are a lot more kind of loose in their regulation of how they control their time, especially if you come from Germany or if you come from America or like somewhere where time is a little more like, if we're meeting at 2 o'clock, we're gonna be there at 2 o'clock. Of course, there's many instances in Italy when appointments and like, you know, flight times, train times are exactly on the time. A lot of impersonal meetings and stuff can be, you know, 10, 20 minutes late. People kind of are a lot more wishy-washy. It's a lot more kind of carefree, which is, this is not a critique, this is just kind of like my experience and what other people have experienced in Italy as well. This might be a little shocking to you, but just think that they're not as rigid and regimented as the Germans or other cultures around the world. What also plays into this is that a lot of shops will close for a period of time in the middle of the day, normally from 12 to 1 or from 1 to 2, and things are just closed and you just can't go into a store because the shop owner's not there. And these are things that you would not really ever find in North America. Number 6, tourists. There are a lot of tourists who visit Italy. Hopefully you're gonna be one of them. Maybe you are one of them. Maybe you have been one of them. But if you're not used to this, what might shock you is the large tour groups you see going around everywhere, especially Rome, Florence, Venice. Any kind of church normally has all kinds of walking tours going through it. The tourists in Italy can be, when they come in waves, especially off of cruise ships, it can be kind of daunting and it kind of make things feel a little worn out and touristy, but you just stay off the beaten path, go find the unique gems of the city, or go in the off season. The fall in Italy is absolutely beautiful and most of the tourists have left. The summer months, of course, are the most touristy and it picks up again around Christmas time. Number 7, the concept of personal space might be shocking to you in Italy. Italians have just a different lifestyle. They were raised a different way. There's a different concept of like being too close to someone or talking too close to someone than if you're from North America or maybe other parts of Europe. People definitely get closer, people will talk right in your face, and it's not rude, it's just different. It's just different. It's just not, they're not trying to impede on your personal space, it's just a different way of going about life. So that's a difference between Italy that might shock you. Number 8, restaurants kind of operate on a different timetable that might be shocking to you guys. Meals are normally drawn out and you'll normally go through multiple courses, and it's more of an experience going to eat rather than just going to actually eat and put food in your body. That being said, when you get the menu, you'll see like the antipasto, the primi, the secondi, and the dolci, like desserts and side dishes and whatnot. The waiters will follow that. So if you order a pasta, it's a primi, so it's gonna come before your meats do. You know, so your meals are gonna get longer and longer just because of this time delineation. They're not really gonna bring everything at once like they might do in North America. In addition to this, it's very common to receive a shot of liquor at the end of your meal. In the south, they have a lot of limoncello because it's very popular from the Amalfi Coast area. There's a lot of limoncello produced around there, and it's a very kind of thing you'll experience. In the north, in the ski towns, you'll get some kind of, I had a ginger liqueur when I was skiing one day. And the waiters won't bring you the bill unless you ask for it. It's not like they're trying to turn tables because it's a very different concept of dining overall. So you need to make sure you ask for the bill, il conto. You gotta ask for it because it won't come. Number 9, Italians can be very loud and dramatic. And this could be shocking to you who thought that might have been a stereotype, even though in a lot of senses it is a stereotype, but at the same time, there's a lot more drama, a lot more like loudness, and people just kind of get up in your face, and like, it's not exactly, they're not trying to be rude, they're not trying to be overly in your face, but it just, that's the way the language comes across in a lot of situations. People just get a lot more passionate about the things they're talking about, so, which is a good thing, you know? I think in North America we could use a lot more of that in our culture. It's a lot more like people are into what they're talking about. And number 10, the 10th thing that might shock you about visiting Italy is the over-friendliness. People are very friendly, people are warm, people are welcoming. There's not this sense of kind of coldness and kind of anger and like trying to compete like there is in North America, and especially in the US. So just be open to it, allow people to like interact with you, allow people to be friendly with you, and just kind of take life as it comes. And don't be alarmed when people are actually genuinely kind or care about you or want to make sure you have a great experience in their country. So those are 10 things about Italy that may shock you. They might not shock you. You may have heard all this before, but let me know down below if there's anything about Italy that would shock people that I didn't mention here. With that being said, you can also read this article on findyourphenomenal.com, as well as a plethora of other travel articles, travel stories, food articles, so many great things, so much amazing content coming to that platform as we speak. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to the mailing list, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys very, very soon for a new phenomenal video.